Have you ever felt betrayed by someone who was supposed to be by your side during the toughest times? Imagine the pain of losing your father in an accident and then discovering shortly after that your mother has terminal cancer. And when you need support the most, your husband turns out to be indifferent. Lauren is a woman who faced all these trials and still had to deal with the betrayal of her own husband, who, in an unthinking act, set the family house on fire. But he didn't know that the house held secrets that would change everything. Let's find out what happened to Lauren and how she managed to deal with everything at once. So turn up the volume and let's together understand this surprising story.
Lauren's story begins with a devastating blow, the loss of her father in a tragic car accident. Just imagine a normal day turning upside down in a matter of seconds. Amidst this storm of emotions, she also faces another bombshell, her mother's terminal cancer diagnosis. The feeling of helplessness is overwhelming, and each day becomes a struggle to maintain emotional balance. But even in the face of such adversity, Lauren remains steadfast, fighting to make sense of this new reality. In the midst of this tragedy, her marriage is also put to the test. Scott, her husband, begins to show signs of indifference, and the tensions between them become palpable. It's as if their relationship is being tested by fire, and Scott, unfortunately, refuses to help during her mother's illness. Lauren feels the weight of the world on her shoulders, trying to balance family responsibilities and her commitment to her marriage. Each interaction with Scott is a silent battle, full of unspoken resentments. With her mother's health deteriorating rapidly, Lauren makes a courageous decision to return to the family home to take care of her. This change of residence brings with it a series of challenges, especially with Scott, who continues to shirk household duties. The family home, once a symbol of love and commitment, is now a battleground where tensions between Lauren and Scott intensify. Nevertheless, she holds on to the hope that somehow their love and relationship can survive this storm. Family tensions reach a new peak as Lauren faces Scott's indifference. Each day, her mother's illness progresses, and the lack of support from her husband weighs even more heavily. Lauren finds herself torn between her love for her mother and her commitment to her marriage. It's a painful scenario where Scott's lack of empathy becomes an open wound in their relationship. The love and commitment that once united the couple now seem fragile and distant. The daily coexistence with her mother's illness reveals Scott's true character. While Lauren goes to great lengths to balance her responsibilities, he remains aloof, almost like an indifferent spectator. This behavior creates a chasm between them, making an already delicate situation even more difficult. Their relationship, once built on love and partnership, now seems to be crumbling under the weight of the circumstances. Each day is a painful reminder of the emotional loneliness she faces. Despite the pain and conflict, Lauren remains steadfast in her decision to care for her mother. She clings to the love she feels for her and to her family responsibilities, even if it means sacrificing the harmony of her marriage. Scott, for his part, remains resistant, avoiding any kind of involvement. This lack of commitment and support only intensifies the tensions, leaving Lauren even more isolated. Nevertheless, she presses on, determined to honor the family bond and care for her mother until the end. With her mother's health deteriorating rapidly, Lauren makes a crucial decision to move into the family home to take care of her. This house, full of memories of love and commitment, becomes the new setting for her daily struggle. The move brings with it a series of logistical and emotional challenges. Lauren tirelessly dedicates herself to keeping the house in order while caring for her mother, and at each corner of the home, reminding her of the happy childhood days and her relationship with her parents. Scott, however, continues to show his indifference. Even in the face of the situation's gravity, he refuses to help with household chores or offer any kind of emotional support. Scott's lack of commitment to the situation transforms the house, which should be a haven of love and family, into a field of silent battles. Every undone task and every inattentive gesture from him are like small cuts in the already fragile structure of their marriage. Lauren feels increasingly overwhelmed, her patience and emotional strength being tested every day. Lauren, however, does not lose heart. With admirable resilience, she continues to care for her mother, balancing domestic and emotional responsibilities. The family home becomes a symbol of her dedication and love, a space where she strives to keep the flame of family commitment alive. Despite Scott's lack of support, she finds strength in memories and the love she feels for her mother. This difficult phase not only tests her marriage, but also reveals her incredible capacity to love and sacrifice for those she holds dear. During her mother's funeral, a moment already filled with pain and sorrow, Lauren's in-laws exacerbate the situation with their disrespect. Instead of showing support and understanding, their attitudes are insensitive and inappropriate. This behavior only intensifies the family conflict, making the time of mourning even more difficult to bear. Lauren, already weakened by the loss, feels betrayed and abandoned by those who should be part of her support network. The presence of her in-laws during the funeral only serves to increase the tensions. Unnecessary comments and disrespectful gestures make Lauren feel even more isolated. Mourning, which should be a period of unity and support, transforms into a scene of conflict and hurt. Scott, for his part, does not take a stand, remaining indifferent to his wife's feelings. His lack of intervention reinforces Lauren's sense of loneliness and abandonment, making their relationship even more fragile. Despite the behavior of her in-laws, Lauren remains steadfast in her grief, honoring her mother's memory with dignity and love. She finds the strength to face not only the loss, but also the veiled hostility from her husband's family. This difficult period reveals the true nature of the relationships around her, highlighting the need to reassess the commitment and love she once believed existed. Even amid pain and disrespect, Lauren continues to fight for the peace and respect her mother deserves. After her mother's death, Lauren faces yet another devastating betrayal. Scott and his father decide to burn down the family home without consulting her. This abrupt and selfish decision aims solely to appropriate the inheritance, completely disregarding Lauren's feelings and emotional attachment to the house. The burning of the house, a symbol of love and family, is a deep blow that leaves her in shock. Seeing her childhood home destroyed exacerbates her grief and solidifies the perception that Scott and his family have no respect for her. Lauren finds herself immersed in a sense of despair and disbelief. The house was not just a physical structure, but a refuge of memories and precious moments with her parents. The act of burning it down represents an irreparable breach of trust and relationship with Scott. Each memory consumed by the fire is a cruel reminder of the lack of empathy and consideration Scott and his father have for her. The pain of losing the house adds a new layer of suffering to her already complicated journey. This extreme act by Scott and his father marks a turning point. Lauren realizes that she needs to take drastic measures to protect her legacy and her right to the inheritance. The destruction of the house is the last straw that propels her to seek justice. Determined not to let this disrespect go unpunished, she begins to consider legal actions, reflecting on the need to distance herself from a relationship that only brings her pain and betrayal. This decision will be the next step in her fight for respect and dignity. Determined to seek justice, Lauren consults a lawyer to take legal action against Scott and his parents for burning down the house. This action is not just a pursuit of financial compensation, but a fight for respect and the recognition of her rights. The lawyer, understanding the gravity of the situation, offers the necessary support for her to face this legal battle. Lauren's commitment to defending her family's legacy becomes a symbol of her strength and resilience. As the legal process advances, Lauren begins to perceive the impact of her actions. Scott and his parents are forced to confront the consequences of their selfish and disrespectful behavior. The tension between them increases, but Lauren remains steadfast, knowing that she is doing what is right. Each hearing, each document presented is a reaffirmation of her commitment to justice and the memory of her parents. The legal support she receives reinforces her determination not to yield to the pressures. The process is not easy, and Lauren faces various obstacles. However, she finds strength in the memory of her mother and in the certainty that she is fighting for a greater good. Each victory in court, no matter how small, represents a step forward in her pursuit of justice. Lauren begins to envision a future where she can move on, leaving behind a toxic relationship and rebuilding her life based on respect and self-love. The legal battle transforms into a journey of self-discovery and empowerment. Eventually, Scott attempts reconciliation by offering travel vouchers to Lauren and their children. This attempt at reparation seems superficial and disregards the depth of the wounds caused. Lauren, though acknowledging the gesture, knows that it takes much more than gifts to rebuild lost trust and respect. The love and commitment that once united the couple have been shaken by actions that vouchers cannot repair. She understands that moving forward requires more than a simple material offer. Scott, perhaps realizing the magnitude of his mistakes, seeks a form of redemption. However, Lauren is already on a path of self-discovery and independence. The vouchers represent a belated attempt to erase past wrongs, but she knows the true value lies in her new journey. Scott's proposed reconciliation serves more as a symbolic closure than a real opportunity to rekindle their relationship. Lauren decides to use the vouchers not as a restart of their relationship, but as a chance to create new memories with her children. Lauren finds the strength to move on without Scott. The experience of fighting for justice and dealing with family challenges has deeply transformed her. Now she's set on building a life rooted in respect, self-love, and commitment to those who truly matter, her kids and herself. Each step she takes forward is a testament to her resilience and ability to overcome tough times. She knows that, despite the scars, she's stronger and ready to embrace a future where family and true love come first. After hearing this story of struggle and resilience, can you imagine how you would react if you were in Lauren's shoes? Think about the hardships she faced and the tough choices she had to make. Are you also in a relationship where commitment and respect are missing? Learning from others' experiences might be the key to improving your own life. Reflect on your relationships and the value you place on your family and true love. Also, don't forget to click on the video popping up on your screen now. In my opinion, it's one of the best and most emotional stories I've ever shared. And if you like this one, you'll definitely enjoy the next story too. So hit that subscribe button, click on the video on your screen now, and we'll see you in a few seconds.